Hi, this is Claire from Birdie Papery, and today for this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this little triangle tree box. So I just want to start out by saying if you have like a silhouette or I don't know, a Cricut, something that can cut out these templates, it would go a lot faster. But I don't have that, so we're just gonna go ahead and have to trace everything out. Also, this may seem like a really time-consuming thing, but once you get a template made, it's just super simple. You just trace it. I'm just starting from here without a template so I can show you how you can kind of design your own template. So first off, I'm starting with a square. You can cut it any particular size you want. I just use this size because it's just a post-it note. And I'm just going to trace it. And this is going to be the inside of the box, which is why I'm okay with putting lines in the paper. This is what I want the outside to be. And we're just going to leave that there. And I've already marked the center lines right here on the post-it. So I can go ahead and quickly line this up. And if you're someone who's like, who doesn't like leaving little bits of paper and wasting bits of paper, then you can like measure this out correctly. But I'm just kind of a lazy crafter. This isn't even in the center of the paper. I'm just kind of going with this. Okay, so I think this is where we want to go for now. Can't remember. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was just forgetting a step right there. Okay, so the next step is you need to make each one of your sides right here, these lines that we just drew, each have the same length. So let me quickly measure, see which one's the shortest, so I can make sure they're all the same. Okay, so I'm going to cut this to about 4 1/8. I'm just going to mark that at each spot, and hopefully this isn't too hard for you to be able to see on the camera. If I had placed this in the center, then you wouldn't even have to do this step. But like I said, I was lazy, and I'm just kind of going with this right now. Mark this right here. Okay. Now I've got this marked, I'm gonna take my trimmer. Bring this up here. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim these down. Okay. Go ahead and do this one. And I'll show you why they all have to be, you have to cut them equidistant right now instead of later on in the process in just a little bit. Okay. So where I had marked the half point on the paper is where the very tip of the cone is going to be. So where these strings are lined up right here, that's where I have the mark. And I'm going to use that mark to tell me kind of make it, use it as a template without having to use a pencil. So I'll know how to get from the corner of my square, so put that there, up to that point of the cone. Then I can just go from there instead of having to measure it out. So we're gonna go right here. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to line up my trimmer with the corner of the box to the tip of the center line that we marked. Okay, so we're going to rotate this, and we're going to do it, so for each panel in this box, there's one side that's cut, and the other side has a fold for a little flap, so you can put adhesive on it. So we're going to match this up. A little tricky with a trimmer like this. Okay. Go Go ahead over here and do it. So like I said, if you had like a silhouette or once you get the template made, it'll be a lot simpler. You can just trace it and go. And right here. So I'll show you in a minute. By making these little cuts right here, we're kind of making the paper into a little pinwheel. You'll see. Once I make this cut. Okay. So it's kind of like a little pinwheel. And now for these, for the other side of each triangle, what we're going to do is we're going to take stylus, and instead of cutting on the line, on the opposite line, we'll be scoring. So I'm going to match up again. If you have a scoring tool, like a Martha Stewart scoring board, that might be easier than this, but this is just what I do when I score things. I'm just going to make sure I use my small tip. Just run it back and forth, back and forth. That's good. Go over here and do the same thing. Match it up. If I can right here. I feel like the most time-consuming part of this is making sure that you have everything lined up right. Okay. Got it scored. Do this one right here. And the last one. And then we're gonna have to go around and cut the flaps. Make sure this lines up. Okay, so we got all the score lines, and we still have that pinwheel going on. And now, I'm actually gonna lightly draw on the line where I scored, so you can see what I'm doing here. So hopefully you can see that on the camera. Okay, so I'm gonna put this line, I'm gonna take it in, actually no, I'm gonna do this the other way. I'm gonna rotate this. I'm gonna put this line, you could measure this out if you want to and draw lines, but I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. What I'm doing is I'm gonna I'm gonna line it up with, okay, I'm lining up with this other side of the clear piece, which I'm not cutting. I'm cutting along this line right here. So I'm gonna cut along that line. Actually, just tear that off. And this is the fold right here, and this is the flap that we're gonna have. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with each one. And once you get one out of the way, it makes like sticking this, sticking the paper in the trimmer so much simpler. Line this one up. And last one. Okay. Now let me grab my scissors real quick. Okay. Move this out of the way. Oh, actually not yet. I have one more step that I forgot. You also have to score the base of the triangle. So where that square is, you got to score along those lines. So that'll make folding right there a lot simpler and a lot cleaner. Okay, rotate that. Rotate that. Rotate that. Last one. Okay. Now we can move the trimmer out of the way. Okay. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna fold each of the folds in the base first. so they don't get in the way when I'm trying to fold the flaps. Okay. Now, actually I'm gonna have to fold these first before I can move on to that one step I want to talk a little bit about. Grab this right here. The better you score it, the easier it will be for this to fold. Okay, so we'd have to bring these in, but as you can see, since this is not cut right here, it's kind of inhibiting that. So we're just gonna make a little cut in each flap. Doesn't have to be perfect. I guess you could measure it out if you wanted it to look perfect, but as I know, this will just be ripped through. It doesn't really matter. Okay. And so now you might think, okay, finally we can adhere this and we're good to go, but the top cannot close because of the flaps. So what you could do is you could cut this, but what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to cut and I'm just going to guess part of the top off, so it's not pointy anymore. And the reason I'm doing that is it makes things a lot easier to tie on here. If you can look at this, it doesn't actually have a point. I just cut it off so that I could tie string around it easier. So I'm just gonna randomly, well not randomly, but I'm gonna cut off random lengths. Try to have them match, but okay. Next step is I need my adhesive. Okay, actually, let me get my hole punch first. Okay, and I'm just going to cut a little slit on each of those little points that we just cut off. So that'll make the string stay on the, it'll help prevent the string from slipping once you tie it. Well, if you're not planning on like putting string on this, then you can actually just skip this. You don't even have to cut the tops off. Just go with that. Okay, we got everything. I'm gonna meet up the cut edge of the box with the fold. Do it again right here. And this one's a little tricky. Just gotta kind of squeeze this in there. But do our best. Okay, and we got that lined up. Let me see if I can stick a paintbrush in there so I can really press the flap and the adhesive together. Do that. So it's all pressed together, and there's our box. So kind of a cute little thing. And once you get the template made, I think it's pretty fast and quick and easy. Okay, so I hope this was interesting. And